Alright, quick update on Kadena. So, as of the time of recording this, we are breaking down. We're down about 2% on the daily, which isn't too bad considering that everything is in a sea of red and everything is breaking down super harsh right now. In fact, KDA is actually outperforming Bitcoin today, which I don't necessarily think is something that we're going to see following through the rest of the day. Could be wrong. I do feel like if Bitcoin wants to break down and go to lower price targets, we are going to see a big breakdown for these altcoins. So I've talked about this in my Bitcoin videos. We do have huge support between the levels of 32,500, which it seems like that is where we came down to and at least found a bottom in the past hour or so. I don't want to say a bottom because we came down here an hour ago and we've had a baby bounce. 29,000 would be the next support. What could that mean for KDA if we keep breaking down? Well, KDA, it already looks pretty bad on the daily. We've got a ton of volume coming in, considering, you know, we're already halfway through the day. The bearish momentum is definitely stepping up. We've had a bearish wave, the bears reset the momentum, took a breather, then we had another bearish wave, reset momentum, and now we're having another one. So this is brutal what we're seeing. It is literally like if you've got Mike Tyson in a ring and he's just taking a breather to have a sip of water before he goes back in for the next round. I mean, KDA, the bearish momentum is hitting hard right now. I would not look to try and come in and try and catch a falling knife on this, because you might end up with a hole in your hand if you do. Looking at the past 4 hour, it has only opened like an hour and 15 minutes ago, but we're already seeing bearish volume that's rivaled what's been going on in the past couple of days. So that is quite a worrying signal. In the lower time frames, it seems like the bears are having another breather, as KDA recently came down to $2.87. It looks like since our last KDA video, KDA has come down and filled our price target. We were talking about a move down to $3.23 for KDA. That was another 20% breakdown. Honestly, the cowboy community, we've done really well by sitting on the sidelines. If you've been watching my KDA videos and you've been doing what I've been doing, then, you know, we've all been sitting on the sidelines since we broke down from this big ascending channel on the 9th, on the 9th of April. We broke down, or on the 8th actually. We were up here at, you know, $6.46. We've been sitting on the sidelines since then. A lot of people have been saying, you know, KDA bullish, KDA $10, KDA reverse today, DCA, DCA, DCA. While people were shoving that information down your throat, we were saying, look, come over to the 4 hourly time frame. We've just had a huge breakdown. All you need to do, you don't have to be a genius, just look at the 4 hourly EMA ribbons. We break down, we retest, we break down. Retest, breakdown, retest, breakdown, retest, breakdown, retest, breakdown, retest, breakdown, retest, breakdown. I mean, I don't understand why so many people try and fight the trend and assume that they know better than the markets, because, like I've been saying, none of us have a crystal ball. I don't know where the exact bottom is. You don't know where the exact bottom is. The YouTuber who says they know where the exact bottom is lying to you. We're all just looking at the same chart trying to find a bottoming signal. I would not try and fight this trend. While Bitcoin is breaking down, Bitcoin is in a very dangerous situation right now. On the daily time frame, we're halfway through the day, and we've already got a huge influx of bearish volume. The dollar is looking very strong pre-market, and the stock market has not opened yet, so it could get a lot worse. I've been talking about this in my videos. Keep an eye on the stock market opening on Monday, which is now today. It is going to get very shaky today. I've been saying this for a while. We're going to have a huge move on Monday. I talked about this in yesterday's Bitcoin video, the last 24 hours, and it does seem like we're already kind of hedging and moving to these lower price targets. So be very cautious with trading KDA. From a technical perspective, we've completely landslided below your 786 Fibonacci on not only the daily time frame, but also the weekly time frame. So this entire uptrend, all the way up to the all-time high, it has been invalidated. So I would be very cautious. We've got huge support down here at $2.13. Let's call it $2 because that would be a huge psychological level. If we do break down below this $2.86, KDA could be having a huge 29% flush out to the downside. Am I predicting this? Not necessarily, but am I sticking on the sidelines because I think that we could at least break down a little bit more? 100% I am. So the beauty of this is, if I'm wrong today and the altcoin markets just have A huge reversal. Bitcoin confirms the bottom, the stock market breaks bullish, the dollar tops out. Everything that we need to see plays out in favor of the bulls. Then what do? What have I been saying for the past week? Because we talked about it here when we were in the bull channel. We were like, okay, if we flip this and break bullish, then we buy at $6. Never happened. So we talked about it down here. If we flip this, you know, we buy at $5. Didn't happen, so we didn't do it. If we talked about this last week, if we flip this, we buy at $4.50. Did not happen. The beauty of this is the more the cowboy community sits on the sideline and is patient, all we're doing is looking at these 4 hourly EMAs. The price gets cheaper every day. So if we do have a confirmed breakout, confirmed reversal today, $3.65 could potentially be a great place to hedge some longs in case the altcoin market does break bullish. I do not think that's going to be happening today. I could be completely wrong, but like I said, the beauty of it is we've been sitting on the sidelines for so long now that even if we do have that breakout today, we're buying at a 42% discount. And bear in mind, if we do what I think we are going to do today, and I'm almost very certain that we are going to have more of a push to the downside, then KDA could become a lot cheaper. So I'm still sitting on the sidelines. There's tons of bearish volume, tons of bearish momentum. The next major support is all the way down around the $2 vicinity. The scary thing is we don't have much data traded below $1. We don't have much data traded between the levels that we're at right now and $2. And what gets even more scary about that is if we break down from $2, previous all-time high is right here at 195. What happens if we break below 195? We're right back in this big accumulation pattern that we were in before KDA's bull run. That is probably the worst thing that could happen for KDA. If that happens, I imagine KDA would enter a prolonged bear market. Like I said, I don't necessarily care too much which direction we break. I just want to be able to make sure that if we do have a big move and a big bullish momentum shift, that I will be the first person to buy the breakout. I'm not looking to try and catch the exact bottom. Like I said, I do not try and catch falling knives, and the beauty of it is the more we break down, the cheaper the price we get once we finally do take that breakout trade. Be very cautious with KDA right now. We were seeing bullish divergence on the higher time frames. We are still seeing bullish divergence, but bear in mind this is a macro signal, something that can take place over, you know, a month, 2 months, weeks and weeks and weeks. This does not mean that we can't break down bearish right now. When you see weekly bullish divergence, you know, you could still break down for like another month or so before it finally plays out. Yesterday we were talking about a huge macro signal. I do not think it's safe to pick up KDA right now. I think that's enough said. If you flip this to like an inverse chart, which is something that I love doing, because if you are a fan of a project, sometimes flipping the chart, pretending it's a different project, really helps you put things in perspective. And you know, if we look at what we've got here, at least in the local time frame, we had a huge local top, we broke above it, we back tested it, and now we're in, you know, at least local price discovery to the upside. You know, you can see this uptrend, this quote-unquote uptrend, obviously we're in the inverse chart, is clearly supported by these 4 hourly EMAs. Does this not look like a very bullish chart to you? Exactly, that's why I'm saying this is why I think, you know, I do it as a meme, but making inverse charts does help you take away your emotions out of the trade, because a lot of people might be looking at KDA right now and they're emotionally attached to it. They have lots of bags in KDA, they leverage, they're getting liquidated, their profit is diminishing, and they're thinking, or their emotions are telling them, you know, KDA is a great project, why don't you buy now, why don't you buy more now, lower your DCA. But you look at the chart objectively and it does not look like there's a bottoming signal coming out right now. So I always do love looking at these inverse charts when we do break down. It is really an eye-opener. If you're emotionally attached to a project, then it is a great way to kind of take away some of that. And that is pretty much all I've got for you. Like I said, do not fight the trend. Do not try and catch the falling knife, or you might end up with less fingers than when you reached your hand out. I would be very cautious coming into today. I do think Bitcoin is going to have a bounce at some point this week. Does that mean that Bitcoin can't come down to 29,000 before having a huge bounce? It absolutely does not. And if Bitcoin comes down to 29,000 and has a huge bounce, then we might finally be getting that trade on KDA that I've been talking about for a long time. At this moment though, it is not in sight. So I didn't upload any KDA videos yesterday because the day before I told you we're bearish and the trend is your friend until the end, and I'll be the first to update you. If you don't see me posting for a day, don't think I'm just, you know, not posting KDA anymore, or I don't care about what's going on in the charts. If I told you the day before the trend is your friend until the end, and until we break above the 4-hourly EMAs there's nothing changed, then I don't post the next day, absolutely nothing's changed. So just because I don't post for a day, just assume that really nothing has changed in the charts. But as you can see today, tomorrow, I imagine I definitely will be updating you on what is going on, because some very, very interesting things going on in the crypto market. Keep your eyes on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin keeps breaking below and breaks below 32.5, could be a huge flush out for KDA. That's all I've got for you today. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.